today. You're welcome to the Settlers Hub. Yeah. Today at the Settlers Hub studio, I have with me an intriguing and interesting young African by name Oladipupo Prince. Is a prince? Prince Oladipupo Jejelola. He has embarked on a research into the ancient Igbo Torah and discovered that Africans are actually the 12 missing tribes of Israel. So you can see me dressed in my Africanicious attire today. And here in the studio with me, you help me welcome Prince Oladipupo Jejelola. So you are welcome to the Settlers Foundation Hub.
Thank you, man. My name is Prince Oladipo Jejelola. I'm a graduate of biochemistry, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria, and West Africa. Yes, I came across this discovery after some years of practicing working in the labor market, and this discovery is getting the missing link between the ancient Hebrew documents, which majorly based on consonants and just two represented vowel sounds. So now, by introducing those missing vowel sounds, we discovered that an African language actually came out from those written consonants and those two vowels. And an African language came out of what we have, and it is actually the Yoruba language being spoken in Nigeria. So this is actually it now become something very strange to us, that how can just fill in the gap into an ancient Hebrew language now give us an African language, which is the Yoruba language. So that is actually the basis of this meeting today.
You see, this is actually a mystery I'm trying to decipher, trying to understand, that you just infusing the missing vowels into the what do you call it? The ancient
Hebrew Torah.
You came out with an African language, and the meanings of those words in the ancient Hebrew language, they are still consistent with the meanings of in that dialect, in that African dialect called the Yoruba language in Western Nigeria, Africa, West Africa. So that's just it. And he came out with the meanings of various names in the Bible, meanings of ancient cities, meanings of situations, and they are consistent with the actual meaning from the Hebrew tongue. So, and people started buying into his concepts because he did a very, very wonderful work. You're going to be hearing most of this. And you know, most of our followers here have been saying Africans are actually the real Hebrews. Do you understand? And then there's this missing link, this missing stuff that is coming over right now. And I think the whole thing is just becoming clearer with what Prince Oladipupo is trying to do. And mind you, Prince Oladipupo that we have here has also embarked into a research of translating the Bible. He has embarked on a research that actually confirms that the ancient Hebrew language is same as Yoruba. Can you just imagine that? Western Nigerian language from West Africa. And I want to really ask him that, are you now saying that the Africans are the Hebrews, are the real Israelis? Or so how did you come about this, or what's the whole thing about?
Yes, just as you said, the main summary of the work is that the lost 12 tribes of Israel are here in Africa.
You mean what? This sounds so funny to me, because we've had various people coming up, various Africans in diaspora tracing back their roots right to Africa. I even know of one that is very close. I think my husband helped with such discovery. You know, he went to Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria, West Africa, the Rock City. So, and she said her DNA came out and she actually saw that she's half Nigerian or something. And Prince Oladipupo is coming now and he's now telling us that the Israelites, the different tribes of Israel are actually here in Africa. They are Africans.
Yes, just as you have said, ma. The summary of the whole work is that the lost 12 tribes of Israel are Africans.
This sounds so funny. Yeah, because there's been these old things, Africans in diaspora, even some white persons trying to trace back their roots to Africa. And my husband did one of such when he went to the rock city, Abeokuta, Nigeria, West Africa, and she said her DNA came out and she discovered she's half Nigerian also. But you, Prince Oladipupo, coming right here now to tell us that Africans are the Israelites. So where do you want to put the Israelites? How did you come about all this, and how convincing are all these that you're saying to us today?
Thank you for the opportunity to prove this. Yes, just as you said, no, it's like a scenario. Somebody writing BK down, and then when you put BK down, the person then he puts gap inside it, dash, then he asks somebody to fill in the gap. Now, the major intention of the write-up is only the owner that knows. Because you just see BK, you don't know what it means. You cannot see what he's saying, except it tells you that this BK is actually talking about book. Because the vowels are missing. So you can't call it book. Just it is BK, except the person tells you this, I mean book, I'm talking about book. So that is the missing link of the ancient Hebrew Torah. Because now, in their consonant system, and we just only feature only just two vowel sounds. So with that imbalance of vowels, so they cannot really, a novice cannot come up and read your write-up, except the writer is telling other people, and they pass the knowledge down the line like that. So the missing link now is being done by me, that now putting the right vowels, which are African vowels, then resulted in what? In words, African words. Basically, is spoken by the Yoruba people in Western Nigeria, coming out and still keeping the word. They are still keeping the word, the definition, that is the information that those Hebrew consonants or groups, yes, are talking about. So the consistency, it's like saying, just as I said before, the VK, if I now put OO, it now becomes book. So actually, the writer had book in mind. So when I now put O and O, then I got book. Now, there's no way I put O and get Iwe, which is a Yoruba name for book. Because the writer did not have what? Iwe in his intent. So what is the book he has in his intent?
Okay, let me stop you at this junction. Okay, what you're trying to tell me is that by the time you infused vowels into the consonants of the ancient Hebrew language, you were able to come out with words from the tribe of Yoruba in Western Nigeria, West Africa, and they still maintain their original meaning in the ancient Hebrew tongue.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's actually fantastic. But I need to grill you more, because we're going to bring out viewers right there. You can just begin to send in your question, comment, ask him whatever you want to ask him various situations in the Bible, ask him various cities, ancient cities, names, and let him tell us the right ancient Hebrew pronunciation of those names, their meaning in the Hebrew tongue. Then we come to the ancient Yoruba tongue in Africa, West Africa. The Yorubas are Westerners in Nigeria, West Africa. So that's what we wanted to do now. Young man, actually, are you part of those trying to prove to us that Jesus Christ is an African, is a black man? They'll tell you, you're black Jesus. I've had people as in arguing with us on our live stream and just say, Jesus Christ is black, you're black Jesus, and all the likes. And they say they have a white Jesus, they have a black Jesus. What's your view about it?
Well, I am not saying that Jesus is a black man. But what is happening here is that the ancient Hebrew Torah is telling us that the Israelis, that the true descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are black people.
Wow!
So advertently, it's saying that if Jesus is actually part of us, is part of the Israelites, then it's what? It's a black man. And also, if Jesus actually spoke in ancient Hebrew language, so that means is not, that means he has also spoken, according to the evidence of this work, he has also spoken in what? In the ancient Yoruba language, which is the language of the Western Nigerian people and in Africa. So that also confirms that what? He is an African. Though might not be black, no might not be so black, but either you have light skin or dark skin, in as much as you are Negro, whatsoever you're what, you are an African.
I think this is becoming more interesting. For viewers out there, I would like to have you view your comments, and you can just come into our live section when we have a live stream with Prince Oladipupo Jejelola. Whatever question you have to bombard him with is here on the hot seat. It will be right here on the hot seat for you. We're going to announce when we're going to be having the live stream with him, and you're going to connect into the studio and ask him all the interesting, intriguing questions. It's becoming so interesting. You know what you're going to do? Please just make sure you watch this video to the very end, because we're going to write the day and date, time, when you're going to be meeting Prince Oladipupo Jejelola right in the studio with us, so you can join in from anywhere in the world. Just prepare your questions. We now have an African man that is telling us that Jesus is African, and we want to prove his research, and we want to prove all that he has done. And yeah, do you know that this young African man here is actually doing something so interesting? It's rewriting the Bible, the original ancient Hebrew language, which is actually Yoruba. And what's that about then?
It has been discovered that just adding the vowel, the missing vowels, we are getting the ancient Hebrew language is being restored to the way it was spoken then. So then we look at information coming out are very detailed. Now we have more details than what we have in our present Bible, though the same information, but more details. So I think it's very, very important to just carry out the whole project on the old books of the Bible, so that we can get the facts. What are the informations that we are missing from the translation that, or from all that we have already?
Just like when he came into the studio today at Central Foundation Hub, he just told me, do you know what's the meaning of Oluwa? Oluwa is the name and just recent transcription in Yoruba language, which is the African language that we are all saying we transcribe to. It just means Lord. But he told me that that's not the meaning of Oluwa. So to him, he said, Oluwa means what?
Yes.
He now pronounced it in a way I've never heard before. And that was the first point where he got me. He pronounced it as.
Yes, in the ancient Hebrew Torah way is Olu-Iwa. That is a Lord of existence. Olu-Iwa. The Lord of existence. And also there are some other words too, like that I also mentioned when I came here, is the issue of many Yoruba words are dead end words that when you from the names you cannot deduce the characteristic, the reason why they gave them those names. For example, we have Omi. Omi. You say, what is Omi? You cannot. There's no understand. There's nothing to really understand.
And what is Omi in English language? Omi is
water.
Water.
Omi is what we call water. And also, there's what they call eel in English. We call okay. Yoruba, this they call it okay. Well, if you look at okay, we know they call a kind of a high place okay, but we cannot really think. We cannot go deeper to study or to follow up the reasoning of those that form those names. But from the ancient Hebrew Torah, the ancient Hebrew tongues, which is the Yoruba, coming from the Torah. For example, the water, which is Yoruba called, this they call Omi, is actually Omi. Eyemi. Omi. Eyemi. That is something that is shaking and never stops shaking. Omi. Eyemi. That is something that is shaking and never stops shaking. Omi. That is something that is shaking. Eye, never stop shaking. Me. So Omi. Eyemi. So now, from that word for water, you can see that it's what? You can see the way they reasoned, and they are scientific in the approach of giving names to everything around them. And also, I mentioned of the eel.
Well, let me talk about that water. Water in Nigeria is Omi. We just say Omi. It's just right on stage right now. It's telling me the meaning. Omi.
Eye, me.
Eyemi. And that transcription of water from the real Hebrew ancient tongue into the Yoruba dialect or Yoruba language. It's the real meaning of that word water. This mystery I'm just discovering now. Omi. Eyemi. That water can never be static. Whether you go to the ocean, you go to the beach, you go anywhere, even if you pour water on the ground, it's going to be shaking. It's going to be in waves or just water is never static. It's always moving, always moving. Omi. Eyemi. And that's gotten from the right translation from the ancient Hebrew Torah into by infusing the vowels that now gave birth to the Yoruba language, the ancient Yoruba language, Omi, Eyemi. That's the water that we know that we call Omi in the Western Nigerian African language. We just need more examples from you because I think this is getting more interesting now. If you understand the Yoruba language, I think all you need to is for us to prove it. Please watch out for that day that is becoming live into the studio. I'm still advertising. You have to get all your words ready. So you need to get somebody that understands Yoruba language, or if you don't understand, just come here. We're going to tell you the lame meaning of the current Yoruba language now. You see, this generation, we are just the current people. Look at what I understand. I just understand that water is Omi in Yoruba, but I don't know the meaning that is Omi. Eyemi. It's something, they got it from the characteristics of water that it's never static. It's always flowing. I need more examples from you. More examples. So get ready your questions for that day. We'll be here live with us in the studio. Yeah.
All right. I think, before I mentioned the
Hill.
So before we go today, so the hill, the word for hill among the Yoruba presently is okay. Okay. If you look at it, okay. We cannot really go deeper, just like the Omi. We cannot really go deeper to analyze the meaning or the reason, the characteristics that the name is actually talking about. But one of the names for hills from the Torah that I discovered is actually Kehar, and it is said to mean something that blocks view, something that cuts view. So you're having a view, there's something that can obstruct and cut away your view. So, and then after adding the missing vowels, we have Iri, that is something that cuts view. Iri. Now, looking like that, but now, for every Yoruba word, even the Yoruba today, they have a proverb, the what's called proverb, and the Yoruba elder says, if a word is lost, if you want to generate that word, you can what? Go for proverbs. When you get Yoruba proverbs, it will help you to generate a lost word. And we have a proverb that talks about ill in Yoruba, and this is a proverb. It says, okay, ni ojeari okay on. Now, okay, that is, there is a ill here that is preventing us from seeing the ill far away. So you can see now that actually the word that came from the ancient Hebrew Torah, which is okay, iri, that is something that cuts view, and the Yoruba proverb, they work together. That means they are saying the same thing. That is the actually characteristics of what? Of ill is what? Something that cuts view. So that means the correct name for ill in Yoruba is the one from the ancient Hebrew Torah, which is what? Okay, iri. So it gives us understanding. It explains the proverbs. It has the backing of Yoruba proverbs. So many more examples like this are what you'll see by the next recording day.
I'm just getting more interested and speechless at the same time, and that's the richness of that Yoruba language that he's talking about right now, and it's just becoming interesting. Okay, iri, something that cuts your view, that prevents your view. That's what all we just say. Okay. Ọlọ́run tó dá àwọn òkè ìgbàanì. Do you understand? The God that made the hills of then. Do you understand? You know, one thing he's going to be doing to help him, because he's a graduate that just went into this research and he's been devoted to this all his time, all his life now. To help him, he's going to be giving us some short online training. I see people paying to learn Yoruba online, but this is beyond Yoruba. This is giving you meaning into the African language. Do you understand? So it's going to be having some sections in which it will explain these words, these ancient cities, their real meanings, even to we, the Westerners, West African people, West Nigerians, that we don't even really know the real meaning. I'm telling you, I'm just knowing this. I mean, what we just know is the peripheral, as in we don't know the in-depth. So if you are looking out for such courses, it's going to be having such courses whereby he'll be telling us most of this research he has done, the in-depth, that you begin to know more about those words, and it's going to be fun. Right here at Cetrus Foundation, you know, our main goal is to enhance the African youth's development and establishment in life. And this we want to do for Prince Oladipupo Jejelola that is here. It's a young African that has left his career in biochemistry and has buried himself into this, and it has taken all of his life and everything. So to encourage him, one of the ways you can encourage him is by buying his books. He has made all these his discoveries and research into a book, and the online format that is available for now is the PDF format. So, and is the PDF format of this is available, as he has come in contact with Cetrus Foundation. We've told him, and we're trying to help him create a better version of ebook of this his work. But for now, he has it in PDF format, soft copy. You can encourage him by paying $5, $10, $20, whatever dollar, just to encourage him, $500. Because these are the African youths that are rediscovering the African history and place in the world. So we can't just let them go like that. So please, a help, a support is highly needed for him. Please, you can also invite him to your various platforms to speak on this his discovery. His discoveries will blow your mind. His phone numbers and YouTube channel will be showing below. So please, you can call him, and you can also follow him on his YouTube channel. And thirdly, he ventured into agriculture, the production of cassava flakes, which is called gari. To encourage him, you can also order for his gari and whatever, just to keep him going, so that we don't lose such intelligent young Africans. And it's been a wonderful session today at the Cetrus Foundation Hub. So, and this is the Cetrus Foundation Studio. If you're not yet here, you're missing a lot. So it's been a nice time, a nice day with Prince Oladipupo Jejelola. I hope I got the right pronunciation.
Yes, thank you very much, man.
Yes. So it's a joy having you and meeting you today. So we look forward to the live stream. Just prepare all your questions. It's going to be gang-gang-shows. Just be ready to answer all our questions, and it's going to be a lovely time. So till we come your way next time, I remain Jaquette Soluani Setro. Mr. Setro is behind the camera. So till we see you next in our next video, catch you. Don't forget the joy therapy. Whatever is happening in the world, make sure you keep your joy, because that's your strength. You may like to watch this video or this.